Hi, it's Greg, and today I would like to present you the best way to keep your HubSpot automation clean with a system I created myself. I called it the health system. Because the biggest challenge of a HubSpot admin is not to develop the portal to match the demand of a high-growth company they work in, is to maintain a clean, optimized portal that does not create conflict in automation or database generation. Because a HubSpot portal is never really set in stone and needs to be constantly redesigned to match the new demands and needs of all the teams of your company. And the truth is that the operational loads make us create a new process, create a new implementation every day, and we don't have that much time to check if this new processes works with 100% of our database. For instance, you change your qualification process, so you have new landing page, new forms with new properties, and new qualification workflows. Are you sure that 100% of your new leads are filling the new form, or some of them are still getting generated by your old form you forget in the old landing page? And then, are you sure that all your leads are going through the workflow you design and they're getting the good outcome based on the properties they filled? Basically, more you will develop your HubSpot portal, more control you will lose over the quality of your portal, and it will be harder and harder to track potential issues and errors in your portal. So in this video, I will show you how I managed to fix this solution by creating a simple workflow named the health system. It's a workflow that will follow every single lead through their journey in our portal and make sure that they have the good condition and good practices for every single step of this journey. So the first thing we need to do is to identify the optimal journey of our leads. So just take a pen and a paper and try to list all the different steps your lead is following from his generation in the database to the last step of his journey. To illustrate this video, we'll take a simple example based on 4 steps. The first step is to gather information from a new lead magnet form. So basically, let's say we create a new qualification system based on new properties, and so we needed to create a new form that try to gather this new information about our leads. We want to make sure every single lead that come after this change fills a good form, because it's the only form that will give us the new information we need to qualify our leads. So for this example, let's say we just need a uniformized phone number, so +1 blah blah blah, the country of a lead, the company name of a lead, and the company domain name of the lead. Then the second step is sending a confirmation email with the lead magnet link. Basically, if a lead fill a form to get a lead magnet, we need to be able to send him a mail and to send him the link of the lead magnet to make sure he gets what he asks for. So it's really important for us to check if the mail is sent and if the mail is delivered. The first step is to register all these new leads in a qualification workflow. So basically, all the leads that we will generate with this lead magnet needs to be enrolled in a qualification workflow that will define if they are qualified or non-qualified. So it's really important to check if all the leads are enrolled in this workflow, get a value for the property qualify, and get the good value corresponding to the good properties they have. And the last step is simply to send a nurturing email for all the qualified leads. Basically, it's the same thing as the second step. We just want to make sure they get the mail sent and they get the mail delivered. Now that our path is well defined, we need to list all the action of this journey to make sure we don't forget everything. So in this example, we have a lot of actions. So first, we need to make sure they have submitted the new form, because it's the only new form we want to use in our new system. Then we have all the qualification properties we need. So the phone number should be known, it should be uniformized, so start with plus. We should know his country, his company name, and his company domain name. Then, for the second step, we want to make sure he's enrolled in the workflow. We want to make sure the mail has been sent and has been received. Then, for the third step, we want to know if the lead has been enrolled in the qualification workflow. We want to know if he has a value for the qualified property, and we want to know if this value matches the lead information we collect in the form. Then, if he's qualified, we want to put his lifecycle as MQL. We want to enroll him in a new workflow, so the nurturing workflow, and we want to know if the email has been sent and received. So now that you have the list of all your actions, you understand that one action equals one potential error. For instance, the first one is has submitted the form. The error would be has not submitted this form. And when you look at all these different steps and errors, you can easily see that they don't have the same importance in our process. I divided errors in two categories. There is the operational errors that are the most important one. Basically, they will break the automation and the process we designed for our leads. And for instance, the leads will not be able to be qualified or sent to a salesperson. And the second type of error is qualitative errors. These ones are not breaking the process or the automations we create for a specific lead. It will still get qualified and sent to a salesperson, but it will impact the quality of the data we collect. And that's bad because it will make our life really hard when it comes to analytics, reportings, or segmenting. So the idea is to add a new column on your list and to choose whether this action is linked to a qualitative error or an operational error. To simplify the reading of my health systems reports and lists in my portal and to make our life a bit happier, I decided to change operational error by this smiley and qualitative error by this smiley. So when you take back the list, you will end up with a result like that. And of course, you are free to define your orders of importance and adapt them to your own system. So now that we have theorized our lead journey on our portal, we need to prepare our portal to receive this help system we will create. And to do so, we need to create two properties and some lists to make it happen. So the first property, I call it process health, and it's kind of a visual barometer of the health of a specific lead. It will be a multiple checkbox type property and will have the following values. So as you see, we are using the smiley I mentioned just before, and the first one is like the happy face. The lead has all the necessary and optimized information and completes the entire journey intended for him. It's a healthy lead. Then the lead with the mask, it has issue that does not impact operation but reduce the management and segmentation capacity. So basically, those are the qualitative error we mentioned. And the last one, the knocked out smiley, means is not adapted to the operational system of the portal and is unable to follow the planned journey. So basically, those leads are the operational error. Why we need to create multi-checkbox properties is because some leads could have qualitative error and operational errors, and we want to be able to identify all the errors of a specific list. The second property, I called it issues reason, and it's also a multiple checkbox type property. This property aims to identify the cause of the bad health of a lead. As I mentioned before, for every step of your lead journey, every action, it will be linked to a specific error. You need to list all these errors and put them as a value in this property. So for instance, if we take our first example as submitted the form 2023, the error corresponding to this action will be as not submitted the form 2023. So you just need to do that for every single step and create the value of the property corresponding to each step. And you will end up with a property looking like this. Now that we have our two health tracking property, we just need to create the list. Basically, the list will help us identify all the leads that have a specific problem and group them together to be able to do mass cleaning. So you just need to create one list per value of the issues reason property. So for instance, if we take the example of the phone number is unknown, you will have this kind of list. So I highly recommend you using a nomenclature for all these lists to make sure you can identify them easily. And the only filter you need to add on every list is issues reason is any of the value you want to segment on this specific list. You just need to repeat this operation for each of the values of your property and you will be good to go. We can finally create our workflows. So I will just record my screen and show you and make it together so it will be easier for everyone. So now let's see how to create this workflow. So you just need to go to Automation, Workflows, create a workflow from scratch, contact-based workflow because we have contact properties to check the health system of our database, and we want to start with a blank workflow. You click on Next and then you arrive on the workflow editor. For the contact environment trigger, it will depend on which kind of leads you want to test. For me, I want to test the entire database of my HubSpot portal, so I will set up one trigger, which is the common property to all my leads, is create date. Create date is known, and so that way all leads that will be on my database will be considered by this workflow and will get this test done for them. Then you want to create a re-enrollment option. So click on. Why? Because we don't want to test these leads only once. The idea of this workflow is you will test a lead. It will be either healthy or not healthy. If it's not healthy, you will clean it, and then you will make him re-go to this workflow to see if it's healthy right after your cleans. So you click on save, and based on what I just said, we want to understand one thing. This workflow will be only here to populate two properties, the two properties we create together, so process health and issues reasons. If a lead enter in this workflow and do the path and at the end has a value, like let's say not healthy for process health, when it will go again on the workflow to see if it's clean, his non-healthy property will still be here, so it will not be considered as healthy even if you clean the data of this specific lead. So the first thing to do is to clean and erase the values of these two properties every time someone enters in this workflow. To do so, just click on plus. Go to clear property value, choose process health, and then do the same thing for issues reason. So you just need to click on clear property value, issues reason, and save. The other thing we need to do before starting to really check the different actions we listed before is that if you have some delays between the moment your lead enter your database and he finish the last step of the journey you defined before. Let's say, for instance, I have a lot of calculation to calculate the qualification of my leads. So basically, HubSpot needs 5 minutes between the moment he enters into CRM to define if the lead is qualified or not. So basically, my process time for this journey is 10 minutes. I will put 5 minutes. I need to put a delay that is at least 5 minutes. So I click on plus, delay for a set amount of time, and I will put, let's say, 30 minutes to be sure. We are not like in a hurry to check this kind of data. The idea is if you don't do that, the health system will not take into account all the different, the final status of your lead, because if you check if the lead is qualified after 2 minutes and the lead is qualified after 5 minutes, it will not get the accurate result. So just put a delay to be sure, save, and now we can finally start to check all our actions one by one. It's a bit like a qualification workflow for the one that already saw my video on how to qualify the lead. So you just take your list again and you will see all the different steps. So for instance, the first one is as submitted form, new form 2023. And it's a mask smiley importance, so qualitative error. So how to do so? You just go to your workflow, you click on plus, and you will make a if-then branch. You will call it as submitted good form, and you will select the corresponding option. So form submission, new form 2023, contact us fill out the form on any page. You apply and you save. So basically what happened? If the lead have submitted the good form, it will go on the left, and if it doesn't, it will go on the right in non-met. So if it doesn't, we want to say to our HubSpot portal, this lead didn't do that. So we will populate the two properties we created together. So first we will go here, non-met, and we will choose and we will set property value for the two properties we create. So first, issues reason. So we see is as submitted good form. So we click on as not submitted the good form, and we want to append the current value. Why? Because it's possible that your leads will have different issues at the same time, and we want to have the list of all these issues. We don't want to have like just the last one we noticed. So it's important to choose append to current values. You save, and you will do the same for process health. So go down, set property value, you choose process health, append to current values, and it's we saw that it's a qualitative error, so we just put qualitative error here and we save. So basically you did that, and if a lead didn't do the good action for this step, it will be notified as such on your portal. Then you just need to do that for the second one. So in our case, second one is phone number is known and is vital importance, like operational importance. So we go here, we click on plus, if then branch, phone is known. We choose contact properties, phone number is known, we apply, and we save. And then same thing here. If the lead follows a good step, it will go on the left, and if it doesn't, it will go on the right. So we need to do the same thing as we did here, but for phone number. Either you do the same thing as I did, or you can just click on actions here, clone this action and all after it, and place under none met. And then you already have all the setup, you just need to change information. So here is not as submitted form, is phone number is unknown, and you delete the old value and you save. And here is not qualitative, but it's operational, and you save. So basically it will be this kind of logic, test one by one every steps and put the result according to it. The idea is, if, for instance, the lead did not submit the good form, it will go to the right path and stop here. We want him to be tested for every single step of our health system. So we just need to click on plus here, go to our actions, and make him go back to the left path. That way, whether he has the good form or not, he will continue after populating these data. He will continue his path until the end. So you got it. You just need to do it for all the different steps you have listed before to make it happen. So I will do it in front of you, but with really fast mode, so you can see how it is, and I will see you at the end of the workflow creation. Short stop here. Sometimes it will not be enough to just put if them like yes or no. For instance, for this property, qualified property matches lead info, we need to be a bit more precise. So we need to check first if the qualified property is any of yes, and then they test if all the matching information are here as well. So phone number, country, company name, and company domain name. So we just need to put here, so qualified yes, and country is known, and phone number is known, and company property name is known, and the last one, and company property domain name is known. So you need to adapt based on the different steps. It's not always like super easy, but for this one I think it's okay. Just make sure you put all the good results, all the good condition in your event branch. I will fast forward again and see you later. Okay, so now we are good. We have done all the different steps that are present here, and we need to just double check if everything is going well. So basically we just need to make sure all the good conditions are linked to the good reasons and the good process health. And most of all, you just need to check that all the good to action are linked. I think I forgot one. Yeah, here. So I just need to put it here. Go to our action and map it with the correct event branch. So basically you will have a workflow looking a bit that way, which is a bit complex and time consuming, but pretty easy to do actually. And we will have the following result. At the end, every issues identified by a lead will be populated in those two properties. Now we want to indicate that some leads doesn't have any issues and they are considered as healthy leads. To do that, basically all the ones that will end up here on the email nurturing delivered green button and has never been on the right side, they will be healthy. So how to do so? You click on plus, if then branch, name it healthy, choose contact property, process health. And if you choose process health is unknown, then all the leads that doesn't have a value for process health means they are healthy. All the ones that have, and they will go to the left, all the ones that has a value, it means they have at least one issue in their information, so they will go on the right. And on the left, we will just define the property value of process health as healthy. And that way, you will be sure that all your leads have a value for process health, either healthy, operational, non-healthy, or qualitative non-healthy. This workflow is almost done. Don't forget to put the go-to action for the last branch to make it go to the last checking here, like that. You're ready to go. If you review your workflow, you can choose to enroll new, to just make it for new contact that will be created after you publish this workflow, or to choose, I want to enroll all the contacts I have on my database to do like a massive cleaning at once. So we turn on, and now the data will start getting populated. Okay, so now imagine we have run this workflow for a few days, and we start to notice there's a lot of issues in our automations. Or to identify them, you just go to Add Filters and check for process health is known. That way you will make it appear here at the end, and you will see that we have a lot of qualitative mistake, a lot of operational mistake, and even one that has both. On the Issues Reason tab here, you will see all the different reasons that make our leads non-healthy. The good thing is it could be a bit hard to work around this database this view to solve them one by one, but we created the list I mentioned at the beginning of the video here. So basically the idea is all the leads that have different mistakes will come to this different list. Just open the one you want to clean. So let's say the phone number does not start with plus, so it's a qualitative error. We have all the numbers that doesn't match our criteria. The idea for this one is easy to fix. Basically, just need to go to Actions, Export List, open Google Sheet or Microsoft Excel, and reformat the numbers as you want. Once it's done, you will re-import this list, and all these leads on that list will be clean. To make it happen, you go to your workflow and click on Enroll, manually enroll contacts. From a list, you choose your phone number does not start with plus, and you click on Enroll. That way they will go through the process. They will get new, like the zero data for process health issue reasons. They will go one by one all these steps, and because normally they have their issue fixed because you clean your document, at the end they will end up being considered as healthy. One of the best things to have created this health system with two contact properties is that it's really easy for us to create dashboards and reports that make us able to identify and analyze the health of our database instantly. As you see, in just 3 reports, we can build a clear dashboard to diagnose the health of our portal at a glance. I hope this tutorial was clear enough and you will adapt this health system to your own portal. It can seem like a huge work to do, but I can guarantee you will save a lot of time on a long-term basis. If you like this video, don't forget to put a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel. It will help me a lot. And if you want to deepen your understanding on HubSpot, I create a private web page on Notion named the Workflow Box. You just need to go on the description below and fill a short form to access it. On this page, you will find all the different workflows I presented on my channel. And for each workflow, you will find a technical description, a tutorial video like the one you're watching right now, a detailed blog post that will give you much more context about how to use this workflow, the prerequisites you need on your portal to make it happen, and an action plan based on a to-do list to make sure you can follow step by step the implementation of this workflow on your portal. It was Greg, I wish you a great week and see you next Monday.